And action.
This time last year you'd said no, and then when you came on you were like, yes, I'm on the radio now.
Yeah, but I love the sound of my own voice now.
Oh God,
Yeah.
James, we've created a monster.
You've got a
I love it.
great
It was really good
face
fun.
for radio, darling.
Thank
Right.
you. You made me gargle.
I'm glad you
Literally,
said gargle.
It's one of the first things I had to do, like 7:30 in the morning. Can people listen to it again?
You can do. You can listen into Milo FM last Friday's show where Peter was gargling live on radio.
Somebody said to me they heard my brother on the radio, and I was
it
just
was
like,
you.
it was me. I was just
was
like,
you.
yeah. I thought it was really quite bizarre.
Should we crack on? Popcorn Pundits. Week
58.
58. That's correct. We are the Popcorn Pundits. I'm James Michael Mulcrone. I'm joined by Peter James Unger and Lady Thatcher Smart. We're a trio of cinema lovers who love going to the cinema, love talking about the films, and encouraging you to go to the cinema. But not only that, we'd like to delve into the past and the future, because that's where we're from.
He's gone Dr. Evil.
Exactly.
I'm scared.
We like to look in the past and look at some fantastic, amazing movies and get Peter to watch them, and then he scores them also.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct, Peter?
That's generally correct.
Yes, but before that, we like to do what we call the top 10.
Oh, the top. I forgot my clipboard. Hang on.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Over to you, Peter McPete, for the top 10 update of what's going on
It's
in
all
the
Paddington,
UK.
isn't it?
It's all
Apparently it's all
Paddington,
Paddington. I got sent this today. I got sent
which is
this,
great for a
Which is
podcast.
because I made the mistake of suggesting that Paddington was going to stay at number 1 until the new year. It lasted 1 week.
Hang on a minute.
I've transferred it into your account, James.
Oh, is that my pound?
Is that an old English pound?
Is that my pound?
Some of those pounds are worth £2.
Are they?
Did you know that? 'Cause
Not
there's
this
a
one.
typo.
yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, not in this
Number
one.
10. Small things like these.
Mm-hmm.
No one? Okay, great.
Yep, carry on.
Number 9. Oh, the Polar Express.
Do you know what? I don't rate that one that much.
Oh no, it's a bag of shit.
Me
But
neither.
I was just getting all
I can't
sentimental
believe
because it's kind of
20
coming to
years
Christmas.
old.
No, nor can I actually.
Okay.
Number 8, Heretic.
Which my father went to see,
Uh-huh.
and my father goes to the cinema maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And I thought, and this lovely lady, Winifred, said, "Oh, James, what film would you recommend?" I thought, "I went to see The Heretic." And she went, "I'll take your dad." And I went, "Are you sure?"
So that was why they chose that film, and they could have seen any film this year, and they chose Heretic.
Yes.
I mean, it's a really good film.
It's an amazing film.
It's a great film.
But, you know,
Yeah.
it's not for your one cinema.
No.
Yes, exactly.
No.
What's next?
7. All We Imagine Is Light.
Right.
So this is, I believe, a Hindi film.
Ooh.
A nurse in Mumbai
Yeah.
looks for a place in the city where Anu, her roommate, and her lover can finally make love. The two women travel to a coastal town that becomes a space of freedom for their desires.
Right.
It's
Should we go and see that?
Yeah.
yeah, it is
Should
a
we go and hold
Hindi
hands?
one.
Yes.
Awesome.
Scissoring.
Number 6, Red One.
Red wine. I've heard mixed reports about this. It's obviously at the cinema. I can't imagine it's going to be very long until it's streaming, I can imagine.
Are we not going to see this at the cinema?
I'm tempted to now, because now we're past the 1st of December. I'm allowed to watch Christmas movies, which we'll talk about later.
Number 5 is Conclave.
Conclave.
Conclave, which
Conclave.
is the film we're going to review today.
It is by Black Bear.
Apparently, I was really grumpy last time I reviewed
You
this.
you hid it so well,
He always does.
doesn't he? Just
And number 1, Paddington in Peru. Oh no,
Yes.
number 4,
Yes.
Paddington in Peru.
the number one film between now and
Forever
Christmas.
ever. It's
That's
never going
correct.
to lose top spot. Number
You
3,
know it.
Gladiator 2. Now, my dad wants me to go and take him to see this.
God, parents, what are they like?
Well, I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to take one for the team.
I might take him to see Heretic instead.
Take him to go see Wicked. That would cheer him up.
Yeah, that'd be quite a good idea, actually. Number 2, Wicked.
There you go. Someone's crowbarred that one in.
Yeah, and
I'm still gleeing over that movie, you know.
It's
It's amazing.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's really brilliant.
It's going to be popular.
How long were you singing Gravity for?
I don't
still
know.
am.
Believe it or not, the music itself didn't. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't sing along to any of it at all.
Well, it's very high pitched.
But I've got a very deep voice.
And to be
Very deep
fair,
voice.
it was only really that last track that got your gumption. All the other ones were kind of like a build
I
up
like
to
the
it.
popular one. Popular. Anyway,
about that one. That's good.
Nicky, what did we score Wicked last week?
Last year,
We didn't stick on the bold.
Yeah,
We
that's what we're going to.
didn't.
Is it 9.5?
I believe so. Let me get me.
Number 1 is Moana 2.
I've heard a massive mixed reviews about this, and I've got lots of people with children, and a lot of people have said it's not what they expected it to be.
Okay, so that's not a mixed review. That's a bad review.
I don't know, but
Not
some people said it was good.
necessarily, because it can be not what you expect it to be because it's better.
Don't be.
You're
Don't be
being
like
very
that.
bitey today.
Well,
And 9.4 is wicked.
Thank you very much.
Mixed reviews is
Yes.
when you have more than one type of review.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
And he only gave me one type of review, so
Right.
how can I possibly be wrong?
You-
But he
you-
said not what I
Peter,
expected.
darling,
That's still only one review.
you are never wrong, darling.
It's subjective.
Exactly.
I don't know what.
That's
I'm
your
done.
top 10.
I'm done with being
That's your
popcorn
top
pundit.
10.
Come here, she's in a bad mood.
Sloppy
You're
Teddy.
I'm in a
being,
good mood.
you're being a dick. It's just like, what's the point?
I
You've got to
mean,
review this shower shit again.
It has been 58 weeks, so what did you expect?
It has indeed.
We've lasted
Yes.
a lot longer than I thought we would.
Well,
Yeah, me
yeah,
too.
you have.
And actually,
Anyway,
yeah, but to be fair, I mean, I haven't learned a lot. I really
I
just
know.
like,
I think you've your horizons have broadened quite dramatically over the last 12 months in reference to subjecting films.
yeah, I definitely, I'm a lot more open to a lot more different styles of cinema than I was.
I think so. Yeah. And
I used to love film, and then I just kind of got out of the habit, and this has been a really great way to kind of get back into it.
Well, all your references until I met you were all 1990s movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much,
Yeah,
and then it
'cause
stopped
that-
2000s.
Yeah, because that was basically when I started working. I kind of got out of the habit of going, and actually, I really enjoy it.
Good. Right. Talking about that, shall we talk about is it number 2 and number 3 film on the
No.
UK charts?
It was number 5.
Number 5. Would you like to give us a quick recap of what you thought about the movie? And then Nicky's going to give us the score. No, we'll hold the score back until the end until I give the score. So we'd like to give. So can you remember approximately
Yeah, so
how you felt about
it
the
is a
movie?
bit hazy. I basically thought that the film was lacking quite a lot of substance, and I think actually it was based on a book, and if I'd read the book, I would have kind of thought that if it was anything more than a holiday read, I would have been a little bit disappointed. I really thought it lacked content. The actors in it are like stratospheric standard. They are all world-renowned actors. And I thought they were trying to make the most of a pretty poor script and hammed it up a bit too much. It's kind of how I felt. That was my general kind of
exactly.
not what the film's about, but my kind of feeling leaving the cinema.
Well, that's one point of view. So we'll look at another point of view now, and hopefully you've had some of your views sent through to us as well. Fingers crossed. Hopefully you're chasing
Sorry, are
those
you
reviews.
setting me up to not interrupt you while you're doing your review? Is that what you? That basically what
Darling,
you've said your bit.
I always
now
do
shush.
that. I always do that, and I always hope for the best.
There's only so many fingers I can stick on
Well,
palms
I
before
don't
I
mind.
have to start talking.
I don't mind being fingered in a podcast. Right. So here we go. So what we have here is you've got a gigantic star-studded cast, including the likes of John Lithgow, the likes of Stanley Tucci. You've got the incredible Ray Fiennes, and you've got the incredible what's her name? The beautiful European actress who played the nun in that as well. And you're holding back because you know I can't remember the name of the actress, which is fine.
Which is why I'm holding back.
I don't have to go down that route because I know my limitations. So here we go.
Isabella Rossellini.
Thank you so much. So what we have here is you have a story plot which is mainly sourced around one location, which is the Conclave location, where the new pope has to be decided on through a voting system. The old pope has died, he's revered, he is loved, and he has a small congregation of hardcore sort of priests around him that were supporting him right through to his last moments in his life. Some of them are more suspect than others, and that is the whole nature of this film, where we're trying to figure out who had bad intentions, who had good intentions, and who should be voted pope.
It's kind of it's brought to light quite early in the film that at the time of his death, something was going on behind the scenes, and we're not privy to that. It's
That's
basically the discovery of what happened, not in terms of how he died, but what happened with his relationships with other papal candidates.
That's right. And what ramifications that would have on the election of the said pope.
Yeah, and the church,
That's
actually.
correct. So, all the way through this movie, it is an ongoing story about power and about uncertainty. And one of the amazing speeches that Ray Fiennes gives, trying to clear through some of the murky sort of rumours that are going on within the whole the movie so far, is that his obsession is uncertainty, and as far as he's concerned, uncertainty is the catalyst of the church and the catalyst of religion, because if there is complete certainty, that means there's no mystery, and if there's no mystery, there is no need for religion, and there's no religion, there's no need for the church.
So
and
the word you're missing out is faith.
Thank you very much.
So the strength. Brilliant. The strength of that speech is the fact that the ambiguity creates faith.
Yeah.
You have to have faith in what's up there, or else, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Go on, George.
so that, to me, that really summed up the entire film as a story plot. However, within that, you have a combination of you have a writer who's written a lot of religious books with the whole with Tom Hanks chasing after relics from
Dan Brown,
and there's a lot of that going on there. But it's also it's directed by a director who's also done Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and those two combined together, I felt that it came up with putting the religion to one side, putting the church to one side, and putting the faith to one side. What you have here is you've got a really good thriller that is based. It's not even a whodunit. It's a who is going to be the next pope. But in a thriller sort of styling, where every single time the voting process goes through, it makes you realise that there is no real democracy. It is purely done through a political sense. It's through a power sense, and also done through a power sharing sense as well. So there's a lot of political intrigue going behind the doors, and obviously through the alleyways and the doorways as well. So what you have is you've got a film that begins as an interesting thriller where the Pope has died, and you're trying to figure out exactly what the process of the Pope is going to be, and then as the film goes on, you realise that the separate camps within the cluster of priests becomes more wider. So you've got the left wing, you've got the right wing side of the popes, and then you've got some new agendas that are coming in. So Stanley Tucci plays a very liberal role in this film, but he also plays a role that projects an element of I don't want to be Pope, but although he's actually the favourite in the runnings of the Pope at the start of the film.
Oh, he definitely does not want to be.
At the start of the film, he definitely doesn't want to be. But as a film, and Ray Fiennes also is the most unlikely person ever to be voted Pope, because he is the manager of the situation, and as far as he's concerned, he's been and he says it right from the very beginning. The Pope has kept him on as a manager, not as a priest. He manages people, he manages situations, and he manages the whole setup of the voting system. During the process of this film, you see each character go through different elements of ego, go through different elements of lusting towards the golden crown of being the Pope. So at one point, Stanley Tucci's role, or Stanley Tucci's perspective of what his ability is, changes slightly, and his personality changes through that as well, which I think is really, really fascinating. The fact that he goes from this quite sort of, I'm okay, I'm a liberal person, to I don't want somebody else to be Pope, so I'm going to really push to be Pope, not because I don't want to be Pope, because somebody else. He just wants somebody else to be the Pope, which is a very left wing and right wing sort of divide.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Thank you very much. Then, of course, you've got the right wing factor coming in from the very traditional Italian side of the priests, where it's all to do with, there's no affiliation with any of the religions. There's no affiliation with any female action within the priesthood, and it's all to do with tradition, and all looking in the past, where Stanley Tucci's character is always looking to the future. So you've got these two divides.
Feel? So basically, there's a scene in the film where the outside world impacts the conclave. Yeah, there is a
That's right.
There is an event.
That's right. And it's actually in the trailer. So something comes through the window. We can't see why, but something stops the procedures.
Yeah, so one of the issues I had was that it was so centered on the conclave that felt like a real invasion to the story to me. I felt like I wanted a bit more of a cutting to the outside world, because they talk a lot about other faiths and they talk about a lot of other sexualities and they talk about and that these are kind of the discussions that the popes are having within the conclave, and then there's this kind of explosion from a car bomb which goes off, and they feel the wrath of that. Yeah. And I just felt that was a real kind of a distraction from what was going on. I didn't feel it.
Interesting, because I felt the opposite. I felt that I loved the fact that there was no footage of outside at all.
Yeah, I didn't.
And I loved the fact that because you felt you were actually part of the enclosure. You were locked in with the priests, and you had no. And although you knew something was going outside, their main focus, particularly Ray Fiennes as the manager of Conclave, his main purpose or his main focus was ensuring that the news and what was going on outside the conclave would not make any difference at all to the voting system at all. And I felt that it made you feel, as a viewer, that you were actually part of the whole system. Now, the timing of that, I felt, was so apparent and so obviously a metaphor for Ray Fiennes' choice of who he voted for at that exact moment, was the exact time when the explosion went on. That to me was a metaphor, and that to me was a turning point in the movie. And I felt it was done very subtly, weirdly. Although it was a big explosion, I thought it was done very, very cleverly, I thought.
I didn't. Yeah. I found it really clumsy. But you're talking about this film. It feels to me like you got much more depth out of this film than I did. I felt there was a lot of narrative missing in this, and it felt to me like we were watching the bullet points of a story being formed, and they hadn't spent enough time putting meat on the bones. You see, and you seem to think like you got it.
I don't. I really can't see a lot wrong with this film at all. So the costumes were actually incredible. The side shots. Because there's a lot of side shots of stairways, lots of side shots of the beautiful. The word I'm trying to get across is the repetitiveness of working through the church. For instance, when Ray Fiennes is changing from one costume to the other, he literally just puts his hands out, and the assistants change his clothing, and it's just so naturally and so beautifully, and it's not done in any phases. It is just done purely beautiful, and then he just touches his hat to make sure his hat is in the right sort of place. And his rope is in the right sort of place, and he just carries on talking. And there's a beautiful little subtleties like that I think is done incredibly well.
Okay, well, we are gonna, because I am in a good mood today, and actually talking about this film made me feel that I mean, Ray Fiennes is an absolute legend of an actor. I don't think this is a great role for him. I really don't. Stanley Tucci is one of my bro crushes, and I don't think he was particularly good in this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we are going to agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah, it's great.
I think every single actor. I think the female actors again is
Isabella Rossellini.
Yeah, her role in it, where she gives us. She's a character with few words in this film, and it's more resonant that when she does talk, everybody listens to her, and what she says changes the whole outlook of the entire film as well. And then there is a new character that comes in pretty much 3/4 of the way through the story plot, where a new character is introduced, which adds another level of intrigue, another level of skepticism, and another level of what was the Pope doing before he died, which is obviously the new priest coming from Chile. And he's a Mexican. He's a Mexican priest who's seen a lot of conflict, a lot of war, and he comes with another perspective, almost right in between the left and right factions, which is a fascinating balance of perspectives when it's going on about the voting for the priests. The lighting was perfect. The sound was absolutely spectacular, and it didn't disappoint. I feel that the story plot worked really, really well. I wanted to go to the toilet for the last 25 minutes, and I didn't go. That, to me, is a testament of a good film.
Well, you didn't go to the toilet in Wicked either.
No, that's another testament of a good film.
Yeah.
There you go. Before I give a score, have you got any facts for us, Nicky?
Yeah, there will be some that I repeated last time, but I do feel like they're quite relevant.
Yes.
So many of the actions Cardinal Lawrence and the rest of the cardinals take during the film process are true to the Catholic faith and centuries of tradition. After the Pope dies, his ring, which is called Ring of the Fisherman,
Oh, yeah, that was a fantastic scene.
is removed and destroyed.
That's right.
The Vatican makes an official announcement that the throne of the Holy See, which is the government body of the Catholic Church, is vacant and everything's closed off. This is Carlos Diaz's first major film appearance. He was an architect until 2020 when his last child...
I remember that.
We
this
said
story,
it.
yes.
When his last child left home and he decided to take online acting classes and go to auditions.
That is just such a brilliant fact.
Isn't it? I love that.
love that fact. That's why I wanted to put it in
That to
there
me
again.
says we're never too old.
Well...
Wow. You are.
The filming took place January 23 to March 23 in Rome, Italy. The word conclave is derived from the Latin, meaning a place that can be locked up. The com is together and clavis, which is key. And obviously it films 3 Oscar nominees, Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci and John Lithgow.
Yes. Beautiful. No, I think it worked really, really well.
None of them will get an Oscar for this.
I think Ray will be nominated, and I think the film's going to be nominated as well. And I think there'll be technical aspects of this film that will be nominated for an Oscar. I think this is going to be. I don't think it's going to win a lot. Unlike other dog biscuits.
Dog food,
yeah. I can see on your nose is twitched.
No, your eyebrows raised. That's what it was.
All right, chum.
I think this is another Killers of the Flower Moon. I think this is a film that, in hindsight, you won't cherish as much as you are at the moment.
Well, you may think that. Only time will tell.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bit like a bet on a pound.
I'm not saying I'm right, James.
Exactly.
It has already had 6 wins and 21 nominations so far.
No Chainsville though.
No, I
Chainsville.
checked. But then they're quite recent. I think they're this time of the year, aren't they?
I think they are.
So that might be why they might not have made it into the catchment. They might.
Can
go
we
into
watch
next
it?
year's. What, the Chainsaw
Let's
Awards?
find out what we can
I think we
watch
should
on.
find out.
There must be a YouTube
Unless
stream
anyone
or
wants to
something.
invite us to, I think they're in LA. So if anyone wants to invite us to LA,
I'm open to offers.
I only travel business.
I'm always open to offers.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll travel anywhere you want. I'm not fussy at all. Put a pair of wings on my back. I'll just
He's going in cargo.
catapult me. I'm fine.
You can
Put me
call
in the chickens.
my carry-on.
I'm giving it an 8.7.
Ooh.
I'm giving it an 8.7. Now, we are expecting some reviews in. Have we had any
We
reviews?
have not had any.
I give a shout out to the regulars. They all got back to me and went, yeah, definitely.
I did as well.
Definitely.
Can I just point out that we rated Killers of the Flower Moon 8.6.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's better than that.
So
Well, it's not
I
going to be
think
there,
so.
is it?
with Peter's score last week,
Here we
added
go,
together,
watch it
it's
plummet.
7.7.
That's fine. Don't worry about that.
It's
We'll
actually-
have some more reviews in later on.
It's actually 7.5 on IMDb.
Is it now? It'll be
Yeah.
higher than that later. Right.
Ah.
So there you have it.
Yes.
There you have it. Right. Peter McPete.
The democracy suggests that I'm more correct than you.
It's all about you being correct, darling.
No, it's not. It's the democracy of the of the IMDb crowd are closer to my score than
Okay.
yours. Just pointing that out.
Good. Peter
Where does that
McPete.
appear on the? Oh, it doesn't.
Don't worry about that. Talking about
Failures.
control.
Inability. Do I
being
have
a
my
filmer.
badge, by the way?
Yeah, it's great. You went to. I know you went to see Uncle Tom last night.
I went to see Uncle Tom Carriage last night.
Instead of seeing the film.
I started. It was the 10th birthday of the coach, his one-starred pub in Marlow.
Yes.
And I was very lucky to get an invitation. And it got to the end of the evening, and no one had sung "Happy Birthday," so I started a "Happy Birthday"
course
for the
you did.
coach. And it's
Nice.
it's good.
Is that your review
I was
of
going
The
to
Witch?
say, that's that. Notice how he's gone off the subject.
Anyway,
your
so
homework, Witch?
what we had a a potted crab starter.
No.
Which is very nice.
Peter.
And then we had the fish and chips, which was really good.
So last week, Peter, we reviewed Wicked, and I decided to give you another witch-related movie to watch for
Oh, I
homework.
didn't watch it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
That took some time to
So
get out.
is he watching 2 films this week?
No,
make up for it?
No, I'm going to. We'll put The Witch to one side, and I'm going to give Peter a seasonal film to watch.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Okay. So I watched this again
So I
last.
don't need to watch which?
You don't need to watch The Witch.
Not yet.
No, not we'll come to that later on.
Which witch
So
do we watch?
we've only literally got 2 to maybe 3 weeks before Christmas.
I know.
Okay, that's fantastic. So we're going to change tack slightly, and I'm going to give you some fantastic classic Christmas-related movies.
Okay,
to
boom.
watch.
All right.
There you go. So your first film this week, which I actually watched on Sunday night,
Okay.
is the classic horror stroke.
Horror Christmas movie?
Horror Christmas movie.
I didn't know such a thing existed.
Well, if anybody's going to find it,
Have you met James?
Your Uncle James is going to find it.
Wow, well done.
This was a movie that I refused to watch for quite some number of years.
You are a bit of a dick.
Because a lot of people say, you'll love this. And I go, no, if you said I'm going to love it, that's putting me off even more. Until Tucker TV turned around and went, what do you mean? You haven't seen this movie? And I went, actually, no, I haven't. And they said, I've got to watch this movie. So I did. They pinned me down. I watched this movie with Mrs. Mr. James, and absolutely adored it. We watched it. I think it's 2, maybe 3 years ago, and there's now going to be a Christmas yearly special film.
Have you started your one a day?
That's
thing?
right. Yes,
You
we
have?
started it already.
Yeah.
So we're on number 3 or number 4 now. So your first film.
I think you're on number 5.
It is what it is.
Number 5's later.
Exactly.
Later.
Your film, your first Christmas film of December is Krampus.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Krampus is stems from a German fairy tale, and Krampus is famously the shadow of Father Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And if you're naughty, Krampus comes and gets you.
Oh, what was that film that I watched with the shadow monster? The sort of book.
The girl who
Babadook.
Babadook.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not as creepy as that.
That is fucking creepy.
But I won't lie, okay, this is a lot more bloody than I thought it was going to be, and that's why I got very excited about it.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Awesome, thank
So
you.
it is gleefully silly in a festive sort of way, but it's also got a bit of gore in it as well. And to be fair, it's put together really, really well. It's produced really well, and it holds the test of time. And it's going to be my yearly special.
And if other people want to watch it before my review next week, where can they see it?
If I recall, I think I watched it on Netflix or Prime.
Did you?
Did I? Or now?
So it's Krampus with a K.
Okay.
Krampus. It's available on Now TV with
There
a
you go.
subscription, Google Play, Apple TV, Sky Score, and Amazon Prime.
There you go.
Those last 4, you will have to pay for it.
I've got Amazon Prime still.
Good. If you got Sky, you got Now TV as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'd watch it on Now TV because it's free on Now TV.
Okay.
There you go. So there you have it. It's a short one tonight. There's only one film. We're going to
My bad.
You're going to be
My
watching.
bad.
We're going to be watching more films next week, and we'll be reviewing more films as well. If you'd like to send in your review for Conclave and let us know what you thought, hopefully we'll be able to pin the score in the right direction. That way. Let us know what you thought. If you disagree with Peter or you disagree with me, please let us know. We're more than happy to hear some subjective...
Oh, and if you want to add to James's conflicting review
Yes.
of Moana 2, then
Yeah.
then you can do that too.
Please do.
and
Give us a
Wicked.
proper mixed score.
There's people still going to see Wicked, so let us know how
Absolutely.
you felt about Wicked.
Definitely.
How can people find us, please, Peter?
Oh, they can find us on YouTube and on Facebook, and they can stream our podcast from wherever they like to stream their podcast from.
They can, and they can send us messages or comments, and we might reply if they're lucky.
That'd be fantastic. Right.
And they can send us a text message.
Yes, they can.
They can indeed. So there you have it. It's a short one this week. In and out, shake it all about.
Just how we like it.
Just how we like it. The countdown towards Christmas is very exciting. Do not forget, if you've not booked it in your diary already, leave the 31st of January free in your diary. We're going to be giving you more details next week.
Yes.
That's right. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yes, right. Would you like to prepare us out?
I was waiting for you to ask me
You
to.
two look like you're about to touch feet.
I was touching his inner thigh with
I
my...
don't need to know.
Pa-pa, 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 pa-pa. I look like Marty McFly. I love these beats.
You look just like Marty McFly.
Week 58.
Do I look like Biff?